Okay, so I just got off the phone with a potential client who's an investor, and I had just had a very long and interesting conversation. And you know, I've been thinking about this for a long time. I've been hearing a lot of conversations lately from investors and new investors in the marketplace, and what they're doing and what they're going through actually. And I just want to try to give you some ideas today on what, if you're an investor or you want to become an investor, you're a first-time investor, want to get into the business, looking at, trying to build your portfolio up or what have you. Please listen to what I have to say, because there's a lot of things to it. This is just going to be a synopsis of some things that you really should do. So this person calls me up. They're from overseas. They want to buy a property in this area, and they looked on Zillow, saw a property, and they said they wanted to make an offer. So they clicked on the contact the agent, and they thought they were talking to the listing agent. And Zillow sells all the leads, so the listing agent doesn't even get the lead. Zillow sells it off to somebody else, and somebody on the other line who has no concept, no idea of this property, and I don't even know if they have any idea of what to do in an investment property transaction, picks up the phone and says, yes, I can show you this property, and helps them put an offer in, and this is a great property, and you should buy this property, and you can rehab it and flip it, and on the other end you can sell it for X amount of dollars. All sounded great to this person. They were loving it. They're sitting back going, wow, this is great. So they put the offer in, and she tells me she has the offer in, and so I ask her, what's the address? And she tells me, and I look on the internet. It was expired 5 days before she called and put the offer in. So I said, well, you might want to check or what have you. I said, what's your agent name? Ask me the agent name. Tells me the agent name. I turn around, I look. I said, that's not the listing agent. I'm not sure who that is, but that's not the listing agent. It's not even an agent in their office that might even have some idea of the property. So I dig a little further, and I find out that she's done a lot of homework on the area. She's done a lot of work on, on investments and properties and all that. But I said, that's fantastic. Did you do any homework on the agent who made the offer? And she asked, what do you mean? And I said, well, does that agent have any idea what you're looking for to build your portfolio? What do you want? What do you want your portfolio to look like? Does this agent work with investments all the time? The listing agent may be somebody who works with investments all the time, and yet you got somebody that was just a Zillow, that bought a Zillow lead, and you're just a lead. I'm sorry to say that. You're just a lead to Zillow that they can sell and make a lot of money on. But anyhow, that's a different story for another day. But anyhow, did you look into this agent? Did you find out, can this agent help you? So my point being is, if you're looking to build a portfolio, you want to start in investment properties, have you actually gone out and interviewed the right people? Because she was asking me some great questions, but it's only because I was asking her good questions to understand her needs and what she needs to build her portfolio, what she wants, what does she want it to look like? And that's the questions I was asking from her. And then I was giving her information based on what her needs were and what my recommendations were. So if you're going to do all this work and you want to have a better understanding of investment properties, make sure you do your work there. So then there's another side of this. So I heard an interesting conversation recently, and the conversation was basically lenders with their contractors and so forth. And the lender was speaking to the contractor about rehab loans and asking the contractor specifics about what they've done in the past with rehab loans and how many projects they've done and what kind of projects. Were they low end, mid-range pricing? Were they luxury? What were these rehabs? Were they 203K loans, or were they just regular rehab or first start loans or what have you. So the lender was asking this contractor questions, and the contractor said, "Oh yeah, I've done a lot of those." They said, "Great, can you tell me what properties?" "Well, I don't think it's any of their business." "I'm sorry, but the golden rule, the one who holds the gold makes the rules." Well, if the bank's up here making the rules and they're the lender going to lend you the money, they want to know, what have you done? They want to know, do the contractors know what they're doing? Are they going to do the right job and take care of the client? Because the bank and the lender represent the client. "Oh yeah, sure, the contractor does, but guess who's borrowing the money? It's that investor." So they want to make sure the investor is protected. So they tried to get that information out of them. Then they looked into other things, such as they were saying, "Well, you have on here, it's going to be $7,000 for a bathroom rehab, and it's going to be $22,000 for a kitchen rehab, and it's going to be X amount of dollars for a new roof." And they're like, the contractor's like, yep, that's it. That's what it's going to be. And they said, "Well, what are you putting in the bathroom? Are you putting in, upgraded vanities and countertops? Are you doing upgraded tubs, surrounds? Are you doing ceramic tile? What are you doing? When you looked at this job, what did you bid it for? Like in the kitchen, are you doing granite countertops? Are you doing Corian countertops? Are you going to do a high-end cabinet? Are you doing a low-end cabinet? Are you doing silent closed drawers? What's the flooring going to be? These are all normal questions, so they shouldn't be out of the range or realm of what a contractor should understand and know. And I heard the lender say again, "Well, when you were at the site, how did you bid that?" And he said, "Well, I didn't go to the site." Red flag. That should have been the first thing to say, "Oh, well, I don't want to deal with a contractor." He bid it based on a video walkthrough or a video that somebody might have taken. He didn't even go to the site, but yet he's willing to bid it for you. Is that somebody that you want to trust? Because to me, I want that contractor to be there and tell me why I need a certain flooring or what I should be doing or a certain underlayment or what have you. Do I need to replace all this drywall? What are my ceilings like? Do those need replaced? These are all things that, questions you should be asking. And if your lender is asking those questions, then you might want to say, "Wait a second, why isn't my contractor answering those questions? Or why did my contractor not do that for me?" So you got to make sure you have the right contractor. And in the same tone, you have to make sure you have the right lender that knows to ask those questions. Do you need occupancy permits? Well, it depends on the criteria of the work that you're doing. And if the scope of the work is that you're doing, a complete rehab on this house, yes, you may need engineered drawings for certain things. I mean, there's more to this than just somebody going out, finding you a property, getting you a contractor, giving you some money, and then you walk off into the sunset with your investment property. So make sure that you ask the right questions. Make sure you're looking into this so that you know that lender knows what they're doing. So we talked about the contractor, we talked about the agent, let's talk about the lender. Make sure your lender understands what your needs and goals are. And from the 203K side or the rehab loan side or whatever type of rehab financing they're going to give you, do they know what to ask the contractor? Do they know what kind of questions to ask? Do they know how to read a contractor's invoice? Do they have a little bit of a background that understands the construction end of it? Because that's important. And there's lenders out there and agents saying your lender doesn't need to understand that. Your lender better understand that so they know to ask the right questions. Because when you have a contractor submitting an invoice and the invoice says $7,000 for a bathroom, the lender should be the one to say, "Do you have a breakdown in that bathroom?" Because you want to know, what's it going to cost for the countertops? What's it going to cost for the toilet? What's it going to cost to remodel that kitchen? Are you doing granite countertops? What type of shingle are you putting on the roof? These are all important things, and your lender needs to understand that. Do you need occupancy permits? Well, your lender should be saying, "Hey, look, you don't have occupancy permits in here. I know you're probably going to need those." So it's important to understand that you have everybody on your team that can help you out and everybody on your team that can work in your best interest. I hope this helps you out. I hope you have a profitable 2024. I hope your investments flourish and you make millions of dollars and you could come back someday and say, that one little tip you gave me really helped. Mark Handlovitch, REMAX Real Estate Solutions. I hope I helped you out. Take care, everybody, and have a great 2024.